get rid of everything else and only have booster bundles? Why does anything exist?
Well, we have our title for the podcast. All right. You ready for this? Are you recording?
Yep.
Yeah, you are. All right. I can't whine about this then. You guys ready?
Wait, hold on. What are you whining about?
Whoa! Welcome to May the Zoo be with you, America's most trying to vote George off TCG podcast. No survivor here. I'm of course joined. What was that? I'm of course joined by the lead henchman, Josh.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you tried to knock me off last week. Still here, still fighting. And I am of course joined by the man who had knockoff cause make a sweater, Louis DeGeorge.
What does it even? What was that?
What are you talking about?
Look at the sweater. It's like Claus made it, not cause.
Your ratings are plummeting.
Wow.
Not true.
This is the worst intro we've ever had on the
podcast. Great intro.
You're like the last season of that 70s show.
And we are joined by the person who has one job on this podcast, which is to make the intros. George.
I come up with the One Piece topic. I come up with the Lorcana topics. You waited for neither tonight. I was ready.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to May the Zoo be with you. There's not a ton of news going on. We're going to do our best to talk about some stuff and have some fun, though.
There's a ton of news.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing.
There's not.
Only on games that have boxes sell, like Lorcana.
Well, we saw a bunch of boxes when MVP murdered Karlov's Manor. We're going to talk about that first. Then we're going to get into Ravnica remastering itself.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go into Paldean Fates. I opened up Pokemon today. We're going to talk about how Pokemon's doing.
How much Pokemon did you open? Do we want to talk about how you're doing?
It's just one ATV with my.
How'd it go for you?
We're gonna do one set a year for sorcery and talk about that.
New topic alert. Never talked about it before. Glad we could take care of it now.
George wants to talk about the competitive One Piece scene because we know that's why you're here. Talk about competitive One Piece, and then we're gonna talk about Lorcana. So yeah, George, welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. Had a good time last week.
That's not true.
No. Well, I mean, it's kind of, you know what? All right. I'll tell you all about it.
Basketball game, right?
So it was at the Duke basketball game. I don't care about that. But like my friend Andrea, the woman who did the 50 marathons, who you all went to go see the movie of last week, she got honored at halftime. That's right, during one of the commercial breaks. It was maybe the single most awesome moment I've ever been a part of. She got a 2-minute standing ovation for the entire basketball arena during a timeout. And like nobody ever pays attention to this, right? They're going to the bathroom, they're going to get popcorn, they're going to get a soda. And like the whole stadium gave her a 2-minute standing ovation. I'll send you the picture. You can put it on the screen for him, Louis.
Too late. We are recording right now.
Well, you don't add it in later?
No, I don't add anything in ever later.
How do I do this?
It's not going to happen right now either. This is why we have the 30 minutes we just had of planning the podcast.
I was too busy doing Lorcana and One Piece topics.
You were something.
You were not helping.
Something.
I was always helpful.
So
you know what? So
let's do that. Let's do it this way. Everybody, while you're listening, while you're watching, close your eyes and imagine a basketball stadium and it's full. And
a very popular one too.
Yeah.
Basketball,
right? The best.
Everybody is standing.
It's like the Lorcana of basketball tournaments.
And everybody is standing and celebrating George's friend because of an amazing video. There. Now we don't even need to edit it.
I would like to add that she would not get celebrated because of her amazing video. She got celebrated for doing 50 marathons after getting diagnosed with ALS. Small difference.
But it was the video that made it aware to everybody.
George, we're content creators. We have to believe that the video made a difference. Let us live this truth. Okay.
You know what? Shout out to her book. Way better than her movie. And her movie's amazing. Her book is really, really good.
God.
I love her book. I know you can't read, Louis, but some of us can. And like her book is way better. I love the book.
Yeah,
the movie's also great, dude.
What's the book title? What's the book's title?
Hope Fights Back.
Okay, cool.
Well, I'm gonna get you a copy.
Do, like marketing and leadership? How are you so bad at this?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing great.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about the tales of murders at Karlov Manor.
Is this why you were trying to boot me off last week?
We are 1 week before the pre-release for Karlov Manor.
Is that true?
Things could be going better. They could be going worse, maybe. Probably not, but they could be going better.
Could be an indie.
No, indie TCGs do better than this. I think we have. Don't we have evidence that that Floodborne's done better in this? And that's
Floodborne's done better than
according
Karloff,
to an indie
than
TCG.
Carlisle. Floodborne's crushing it.
How many minutes on this podcast are we going to go back and forth on the status of indie TCG? Just with that statement right there. You've guaranteed at least 20. You've locked us in for 20.
All right. So on what day is it that they posted this? Monday? Is that when they said TCG Player sent out the email? I think it was Monday.
Your research.
I think Monday they posted a email, and then they sent them on Tuesday, and they also sent it yesterday or today. This morning, I woke up to a last chance. MVP Sports and More has Karlov Manor at $130 a box.
It is not the last chance.
How are the sales at $130?
It didn't stop at exactly, maybe it was my time midnight. There was a couple that bled over through the day. They sold more than 2,000 boxes.
Wow.
I didn't think. I messaged you late. What was that? Tuesday night. And I said I don't think they're going to get to 2K. Past 2K. I didn't think they were going to. I didn't think they had it in them.
Can we not call the section Kavlov the 2K? Just asking for a friend.
It's Karlov. Let's talk about what and who MVP Sports and Games is.
This was news to me.
Before we do that, let's say that this is all speculative and there is only evidence. There's no substantial evidence.
And we should also add, we love us some MVP Sports.
Yeah, they are basically sponsors of this channel.
Absolutely. As close as you can get without knowing we exist, that's our sponsor.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure, but I want to point out that the number of boxes were sold is not speculation. That's actual evidence.
Yes.
And knowing that it was sold by them, not hard.
Right.
Only people selling at that price. Only people selling at that price point the whole day.
Somebody should have undercut them. Why didn't we think about that? We should have undercut
everything. I called you twice.
I mean, it would have been funny though.
I thought it would have been.
Can you imagine if it's just like
$29.99?
We make a TCG Player account and it's like George. It's just like George undercutting MVP Sports.
Louis, let's just make one in his name tonight.
Yeah,
let's just make one and call it George.
That's over. We can't compete him. So they put out play boosters at 130. So sorry, not GTS. MVP in Sports and Games. Is a potentially alleged, no substantial evidence, a front for a.
Wow, we're going with a front. Wow, not even just associated with a front.
No, it's front is correct.
Oh my God,
front feels pretty right.
George is not in on this one.
Oh, just because you finally got hookups at GTS, now you don't want to talk about it.
Hey! One piece to 25K.
Welcome back, bud.
Yeah.
This one definitely won't go. You know what up, and this one's gonna always go up to the moon. It will never crash.
There is definitely like when a store shows up with 2,000 boxes. But before allocation, there's a lot of evidence that this is some shenanigans for the distro.
5, maybe 10 stores in the country that can take that kind of quantity.
Yeah,
and none of them that I know did. I don't know.
And one of them is Star City Games, the store.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, real stores. I mean, I can think of maybe 5 that could take the kind of quantity. Maybe if I stretch it to 10, and nobody I know ordered the set.
Well, and the price point is just
the price point makes no sense. You lose your shirt.
Yeah. All right, so they put it up on it. So TCG Player though was promoting this, and this is similar to what happened. We talked about with the
complete bundle.
Not the complete bundle, the Lord of the Rings bundle, where TCG Player promoted a sale, and the question is does TCG Player reduce the cut for that? Does the store pay the same amount of fees as a seller you or I, or does it produce this kind of
they're level 999? Do they get a cut or not? We're level 10. They're I'm level 9,000. They pay me to sell.
Remember,
when you become a pro member, you pay more fees. Do you know that?
I did, because you whined about it that time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Remember, the Lord of the Rings bundle was sold by the Gaming Co., which
that's a store.
Isn't it just TCG Player?
I don't think so.
I thought it was. I thought that was our assumption, was that TCG Player was selling on TCG Player's behalf.
Wildly.
Yeah,
I think we did.
Sounds like something we would do. Anyway.
Yeah, somehow I get yelled at it for One Piece.
No, that's not what you got yelled at for One Piece at all.
Not at all.
That's not what we are. Pro speculation. We are anti your topics.
My topic is great.
I have a topic. Oh, what is it? I don't know.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
So here's the first off, from a player perspective, yeah, that's great. You get $130 box. That seems great.
Go ahead.
You still think that's too expensive?
Do you want to discuss that, or do you want to?
Let's go for it, baby. I'm in. All right. My money's lost. Like, this is over for me. I am closing up next week.
I remember a really great looking person on this podcast standing alone in the wilderness saying that the market will reject boxes at this price. That 125, 130 was the max people would pay. And I remember two bozos fighting against me.
Okay.
Like, here's the problem.
Josh, how many boxes have sold? You've got the data on pre-sale between 130, the lowest, and 142, the current price.
Everything that didn't sell at 129, so roughly 390 boxes.
No, sorry.
Wow, that's amazing. Almost 400 boxes of a Magic set.
Including, because George just said 130 was too high.
Yeah.
How many boxes sold at that price point?
At 130,
including the 130.
Louis not listening so good.
The cheap. So here, let me lay this out for you, and you have the URL, so you could be looking at this yourself.
What was he did that to me last night in the Discord, Louis? He did that to me last night in the Discord.
I taught you both to fish. I put cardboardfinance.com online so you can.
But you didn't make it mobile friendly. What kind of even I'm not that much of a boomer.
Why was it built?
Why are you asking me why you built a website? How would I know why you built it?
Because we talk every day.
That's true.
Literally every day. Every single box of Karlov Manor has sold at above or at the $129.99. There has been nothing sold underneath it. Every single box so far. To answer your question.
2,000 boxes.
2,400.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this price point is not going to work. I'm telling you this right now. Stores can't make money at that price point. The consumers won't pay more than this for the box.
Certainly not on TCG Player.
Right. This price point is not going to work for this product. And Wizards is going to have a really hard decision to make, I think. And I don't think this is actually good for the consumer. I mean, because the store's going to have to sell this at 135 to 150, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Right.
The average price sold on TCG Player is $132.
Yeah.
And there have been 2,400 sales.
We just went over that.
Yep.
That seems pretty that seems like the market has certainly reacted to the lower price of 130. I think
130, and I said this at the time, I think 130 is the max you're going to be able to get. And 132 is the average. I'll grant you I'm off by $2, Louis. Listen, this price point is not going to work in the current ecosystem.
Now, hold on.
They're going to have to do one of two things. They're going to have to lower the price or lower the print runs. Those are their two options.
At the most successful tentpole standard set, much like this tentpole podcast that we saw last year, was Lost Caverns of Ixalan, which the set booster box, the average price was $124. So fairly close, comparable. It was, I think, $6 or $7 difference here.
What was that release?
It has 6. It was 126, 127 at release. It was higher at release, and it had 3,931, almost 4,000 sales. So here at this price point, at the $129.99, you're paying a comparable price. You're getting what? 6 more packs, Louis?
6 more.
Is it 6 more? You're getting 6 more packs at a comparable price.
It's not less hits.
No, it's not.
Per pack it is.
It's not, George. You don't know what you're talking about.
You get less hit. You get the same number of hits per box, I believe.
You do not, and the list slot's been replaced with something meaningful as well. So I really do think that, yes, when Magic players see that the price is up $6, there's going to be a freak out. But there's actually some value here. That's the hot take. The hot take is at $129.99 compared to the last set. So it's not only comparable, but it's even a little better.
Lost Caverns of Ixalan play boosters, and comparing the same set to each other, there would be value here. But the problem is that the slots in Murders at Karlov Manor they're poo-poo. They're not good. The set is like, there's not like the guest slot has almost no value.
Do we have all those yet? I thought we were still waiting on.
We were wrong. There's only 10.
We were wrong. Well, I'm gone. You guys are wrong.
Yep. There's only 10. It has no value in it compared to
there's definitely not a Mana Crypt.
Well, I don't even know if Mana Crypt was that in that slot.
Yeah, it was a special.
The other one was the land.
Cavern of Souls was in the main set.
The big one. Oh, okay, gotcha.
And Louis, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't our cost for Lost Caverns of Ixalan almost $20 less in this box?
Yeah, everything's scaled.
Yeah, so, I mean, like at 124, the stores can make money.
Yeah.
At 130 with this box, they flat out can't.
Like that wasn't the conversation. I agree with that.
Price is not sustainable for the current ecosystem. It's not art. So, like again, WotC has two choices. They can either lower the cost or lower the print runs. There's no third option that I can see. But I mean, like stores are going to lose their shirt on this set.
They are not going to lower. They are not going to lower the cost. That's not.
I agree. I don't think they're going to do either. I think they're going to mess up the ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, like the only advantage currently.
Hold on. Did you just agree? Louis and I have been screaming this into a microphone at you for 7-8 months now. Like that they're going to destroy the ecosystem that they've worked so hard to build. Are you now on that side?
I said that about play boosters from the get-go. I was one.
They've been on this.
I have been the only one in the universe negative about the price of play boosters.
So I'm pretty positive about play boosters, and I think the price. I disagree with the price point with you. I think the problem is not the price point. The problem is the set is. Listen, I did a video this week. It is a thematic set, and nobody cares about the theme. Who murdered who, and nobody even knows the main characters. Nobody they're trying to sell something that nobody cares about. Nobody cares about the murders on Karlov Manor, and there's not the depth within the set and the cards. Now there are there's some cards that are good. It's like this is a weird set.
The cards, here's to their credit, the cards seem like a lot of fun. There's a lot of cards in there that you pointed out the card last week that was terrible that I hate, but most people think is a lot of fun. There's also there's a card, draw 3 cards after sacrificing a creature and exchange 3 life. There's some really fun stuff in the set, but just like Streets of New Capenna, theme and fun stuff doesn't necessarily
Did you beat me to that, or did I say that last week?
You did not say that last week.
I was about to say this reminds me of Streets of New Capenna.
Dude, we should just make a single YouTube channel. It's getting disgusting because we have not talked about that yet.
Yeah, like this has that written all over it, and it's got like the land cycle that people are going to be excited about, and Streets had the triomes,
which means it's going to be a super banger and fun set, but it's not going to sell well.
And that's kind of my point.
Streets did pretty good for like the first couple weeks. Do you remember the Ob Nixilis? Like that card was like crazy value in the foil etch. Like people were.
Oh no, we were debating buying a bunch of those.
Yeah, no, some of us bought a bunch of them. Not good.
Oh, I never pulled the trigger.
And that was back when they were just printing a metric ton of collector boosters.
That might be the issue.
We'll see. I think there's only 202 sales on your data. 202 sales for collector boxes. That's so bad.
This is
1/10.
This is gonna be terrible.
1/10 of Ixalan. Is that what you're about to say?
No, it's 10% of the play booster box.
Yeah.
The
play booster box would only have 400 without the big sale, right? That's what you're.
No, because people would have naturally bought over those days. It just would not have been in those insane numbers.
Right.
And
so
also,
maybe you're at 500, right? Like,
we don't normally see Magic sets pop off at this point anymore. It's too early before pre-release. We don't normally see the numbers go up this high. So you're right. I mean, the sales definitely juiced it. I don't think we'd be looking at 500 sales. I think that's hyperbolic to say.
This one's interesting. I gotta say, like, my store, people are excited for single cards, but they're not like, no one's talking about opening the product like they were with Lost Caverns. Like for Lost Caverns, it was like, oh man, I can't wait to try to pull a Mana Crypt. Like there's not that, like they missed that card here is I think one of the big issues.
We learned the lesson from Lord of the Rings. This has been my take since Lord of the Rings. I think you guys will agree. the set has to have, and I'm going to say it, and and people hate putting it this way. There's probably a better way to phrase it. It has to have a lottery ticket aspect to it. You have to have the feeling that when you open a pack, you could pull something bonkers. And everyone's like, I don't want my Magic packs to be lottery tickets. Well, the community clearly disagrees, because in every set where there's one bonkers card that you could hit, but you won't, but you could, they sell like crazy, dude. They sell like crazy.
Ironically also reminds me of the structure of Phyrexia All Will Be One boxes, because that didn't have serialized, right?
Nope.
And
this does though.
The
remember,
special foiling was weird and nobody really likes it. And those boxes are $225 right now. Yeah, those have shot way back up.
But the Phyrexia theme though probably did a lot of carrying, having the Praetors, having the popular commanders in there.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I mean, I agree that it's a better set, but I'm just saying, like, the structure of the box, like, there was no massive reprints, there was no like really hyped up like item, and that has done fine. This one's going to come down to like how many boxes that they print.
Yeah,
I agree, George. I agree. I do think
this is going to be one of those sets that's going to ruin some stores.
Oh yeah,
like this is going to be a store ruining set.
Do you think so?
Absolutely. The fact that they managed to mess up the first ever play booster, and listen, I am known as somebody who defends WotC a lot.
Hold on.
Yeah.
They didn't mess up the play booster. You just think they messed up the price.
But like, no, that's the same thing. Like,
no,
it is. Like, so everything's based on the price.
From it's not.
Like the fact that they can't figure out how to sell a box at 135, 145 organically, that's all you need to know.
The draft boosters of this damn product, you will have armies, legions of people defending. It's probably the worst priced product. Stores lost their tushies on it, but people love it. The price does not always make a good set.
Also, don't forget, George, that this can be used for the savior for stores on this is that these boxes can be used in limited experiences. So if Murders is a good limited experience, like I've sold 2 draft boxes of Ravnica Remastered, but we burned through 3 cases of product because we have limited play going on in our store all the time. We have a league going on. We did drafts. We've done.
Well, I don't want you to worry, all you league players. You'll be playing with this set for a while, so don't worry, league players. You'll become good at this set. Listen, I got your back, y'all.
One of the few cool things that Louis does is that league sounds sweet.
It's
great.
I participate in it.
Like this, we said this on the podcast. They had to make this first one a banger. They didn't. This isn't hard.
Yeah,
we all 3 agreed on that in this podcast that the first play booster had to come out as a banger. It's not.
My point is that we don't know how the market's going to react to it on release and when people actually put the cards in their hand.
Yeah,
I agree that MVP Sports coming out at 130 and all that, like, I agree that that's not great for LGS.
But the question is, why do you think they had to do that? Because they couldn't sell the boxes.
Yeah.
If they could have done it at 150, they would have sold them at 150. There's no demand at 150. Yeah. Like they sold it at 130 because that's the price they thought they could clear the market at.
The real hit is that it shows that stores didn't order.
Right, because I mean, like, they messed up. Like, listen, I defend WotC a lot on this podcast. I think usually they deserve to be defended. They messed this one up. We should call it like we see it.
Now, George, just to be fair, there have been sales back at the 140 marker since the MVP Sports thing stopped.
I heard almost 400 boxes at an average of $2 more than 130. I'm proud of them.
And so the question becomes, is if this product actually hits with any kind of velocity, do we look back on this moment and say, hey, MVP Sports got it wrong? They dumped when they could have sold at 140. That's just the question.
Yeah. If MVP has to dump, it means that they're not going to be alone is my best guess.
Let me also say that they're today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 boxes sold at 142. So it's not $2 above 130. That's at 140.
That's why I said average.
No, the average includes the boxes that are sold at 130. Right. So that's not what Josh said and not what we're saying right now. The point is that there is a demand. Yeah,
they sold 17 boxes today at 140.
But George, we agree with you. The price boxes that game stores pay for this product is a problem. 100%.
It's a huge problem.
It is a problem. But we're saying we have to wait and see, because every other time that we have said, I've said on this podcast, say the community will not pay that for that box, and I'm just wrong, right? Maybe I'll be surprised.
I very rarely say that.
I don't think it's a problem if the set is good. I go back to Ixalan. If this was the setup for Ixalan, if the Ixalan boxes were exactly this price point, exactly this, kind of setup, but it was what brought with Ixalan, this would be no problem. We would be seeing boxes on TCG Player would be 155, 160. In my opinion, this is not a play booster issue. This is a nobody cares about who murdered the person at Karlov Manor.
It's both.
It's that. And
I don't think people are going to want to pay 150 for what they consider a draft booster.
But that's not what this is. Nobody considers that. You're the only person, George.
I don't think that's true. I think they have set this up where they view draft boxes are draft boxes, and if you can draft with it, it's a draft box. I think people will view play boosters as draft boxes, at least in the beginning, and it'll be up to Watsy to change their opinion on this. And I don't think people are going to want to pay 150 for a box. I think it's too much. Too much. The prices are too damn high.
In the gross amalgamation, the rapid hybridization of draft box to set box to play box, this is far more set box than it is draft box.
I think that's true, but not in people's mind. I think people like, if I can draft with it, it's a draft box.
I firmly believe that you believe that. I firmly believe that the average consumer does not. Lost Caverns.
Sorry, George, you're not average.
150 is to be too much.
Lost Caverns is currently selling at 131 with 6 less packs. That's my point.
When did that set come out?
Like 6 months ago almost?
It should be selling. No,
it came out in
Lost Caverns of Ixalan. It came out in November. It came out in November.
Okay, November. Is that not 6 months ago?
No,
3 months ago.
You're doing great.
But Magic products do one thing after they come out, and it's go like this. Right. They go like this.
Not the one set. Not that one. That's the only reason you'll keep mentioning that one set is every other set did that.
I mean, I mentioned the last set.
Sorry, Wilds of Eldraine is doing this.
Yeah.
And Phyrexia is doing this. And March of Machine is actually kind of doing this.
Wilds isn't Wilds going up?
Yeah, that's what I just said, but I did it slightly less. Mm-hmm. If Ixalan's this, Wilds is this.
I'm telling you right now, people ain't paying 154 a box on a release day. It's gonna be too much.
And to me,
sales are going to crater.
That's again, you might be right, but the problem there is Wizards of the Coast has to charge the game store less. Not that it's a bad box, right?
No. I mean, I think that's true. But they need to start with what will the consumer pay, then work backwards. It feels like they're starting with what will the game store pay, and then work forwards. Well, they have to start with what will the end consumer think is a good value for the box, then figure out what can I charge the game store, then figure out what does distro charge the game store, and that's your price.
The problem is that the end consumer will pay stupid amounts of money for things that are good. And they think that things are good. They probably think that Murders at Karlov Manor is a great set, right? But the consumer disagrees with that. I don't know.
Let's defend that just for a second, just to flip the script on your Karlov Manor. It's all about this theme. We've been kind of begging for Watsy to be like, hey, remember Blocks when you would tell a story and everything would flow and it would be a lot of fun? Go back to that. If this is them making that shift, the first couple sets are going to feel like, yeah, nobody cares about this story because we've been inundated and trained over 7 years now not to care about the story of Magic. Them putting effort into the story of Magic, I'm not going to bash them for that. I'm not going to be like, yeah, nobody cares about, because of course they don't. They've trained us to be that way. They're probably just trying to get us there.
Yeah, but in this story. Wow. In this story, we were fighting dinosaurs.
I'm in that story.
Now we're in a murder in a giant fake house manor.
Hold on. Louis, if you're going to bring up dinosaurs, you got to say the line. That's the rule. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules, but you got to say it.
And the next set.
I'm fine with it.
And the next set, we are in the Wild Wild West. What is the connection that you're talking about with a block, a cohesive?
No, I'm saying I never said they're doing a block. I said we missed that era where Magic had a story. If they're trying to have a story in their sets, I'm not going to complain about that.
Are you not going to say the line, Louis?
No.
Yeah, you're supposed to say the line.
Come on, man. I'm fine with it.
Do the thing.
Come on.
Not fine with it.
So, like,
are you not fine with it now?
If you're trying to make a story, this is
Universe is beyond.
God, look at me dunking on Watsy today. Welcome back, George. The comment section will love this part. Like, at the end of the day, this is a stupid way to tell a story. If you're gonna tell a story, you got to put it into YouTube's. You got. Ain't nobody reading the books. You gotta make it into editable.
They don't even have books anymore. All they have is the articles on their website.
Ain't nobody reading that. Half the people are like, Louis, they can't read. Like, you gotta put it onto the YouTube. Hire Louis to go make a video. Hire Josh to edit the video. That was a dig on Josh. Like, at the end of the day, like,
do that.
You got if you want people to care about the characters, and I think that's smart, you gotta put it in video. Ain't nobody reading this.
This is gonna be so we had the biggest pre-release we've ever had for Lost Caverns. It was huge. Like we had,
I remember that. You called me. It was like banana pants.
We were one person away from hitting 50. That would have been sweet. It's gonna be wild to see how many people we have at this one.
I think you'll have a lot. I just think I
hope so, dude. You're more optimistic than me.
Are going to be rough.
If you're in Hurricane, West Virginia, come on out to Game Grove on February 2nd. We're giving away a box. Hell, I'll give away a collector box. They're going to be worth the same amount. So
you're so salty. It's crazy.
This set is so terrible.
This one has me pretty worried. I thought I reduced my order.
I am convinced Distro just put everybody in for random amounts of every product the last 2 months.
And I
got my order today. I was like, who ordered this? Who ordered this?
There's no way to check it either. It's kind of
I didn't order this.
It's kind of
I was like, I was in a meeting, and like I got like the beep 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 beep, like 50,000 emails like order delivered. I'm like,
man, it's nice of them to send it UPS to you.
How'd you get yours? Pony Express.
I don't want to talk about it.
Louis, all you have to do is use the freaking website.
I support, you know what? They should bring back Pony Express.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. I don't want to be angry. I want to talk about that part of this.
Oh, then this podcast's off to a rousing start.
Let's talk about Ravnica remastering itself.
I have no function for this. This will be great.
Ravnica remastering itself. What a wild title.
Right.
Do you sit at night
on this podcast? We make wild speculations. We speak our heart and we speak our emotions, and we also admit when we are wrong. And dang it, I was wrong.
What happened?
Shocklands are like, they're fine. They are.
Let's speculate. Ready?
Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast gave their employees a stipend to go to the secondary market and just keep buying Shocklands. Prop it up, baby.
How much are Shocklands?
They haven't moved. Like they just,
really at all?
No. Retro foil Shocklands actually went up.
Yeah, that one actually doesn't surprise me. But like across the board. So what I thought would happen would be like retro frame Shocklands would absorb a lot of money, and they would kind of hold true to pre-order prices and whatever, and then like the regular Shocklands would just crater. Like nobody would want them. It would just go to zero.
People are too busy looking for those Galaxy Shocklands. That's the problem.
Yeah, like even those are
that fad lasted like a week and a half.
They lost like maybe
that
10%.
Week saved my business. I don't want to hear it.
Should I open all my murders?
That week saved my business and absolutely tightened me and Louis' relationship.
Should I?
What? Like we were on the path to being great friends before that. That did it. You
guys were brothers that went to war together.
We were flirting with being besties. That did it.
There
now
others
like Travis and Jason.
Oh, did you not? You didn't do Brothers War. That was just me.
Yeah, that was just you.
Yeah. Anyway, the cards are holding fine in terms of the Shocklands, and even some of the other cards are like I was wrong. It surprised me the boxes are like not selling at all though. Right?
So we should have done Kavlov to 2K and Shocklands to 1K, and we messed up both.
Dang, we suck.
The number of sales for Ravnica Remastered is it's sad.
What is it?
It's indie TCG like. It's indie TCG-esque.
Not Lorcana-esque.
Well, okay. It's not all indie TCGs. It's better than some, but it's bad, dude. It's embarrassing.
I was like that indie TCG.
Well, it looks like collector boxes in January did pretty well.
I think my bad now. Maybe I'm on.
What am I looking at wrong?
I think my bad.
Ravnica Remastered. There's only been 1,700 total boxes sold.
Oh.
What? Like, and that's across all products. That's draft and collector.
Yeah.
1,700 boxes, dude. In what universe is that good?
It's not very good.
Compare that to Dominaria Remastered. Remember the set everyone hated? Well, it's not pretty. It's
listen, my store. I've restocked twice on Ravnica Remastered collector boxes.
I love this set. I love it. Yeah. I maybe I'm just Magic Boomer. Maybe that's why we love it so much. Opening that box, blast. So much fun. Rest of the community, or at least the secondary market on TCG Player, clearly does not agree.
Yeah. This is a good place to talk about it. It would probably have been better in the last segment, but
welcome to be with you.
Let's do it, baby.
The biggest issue with what's happening currently in Magic is that stores are just gonna stores are really gonna stop ordering. Like, I'm gonna order the minimum amount I can get away with for the Wild West set. Like, it's just like, why if I can still get Ravnica Remastered, the Masters set, the like big, like the big thing, why would I ever order more than like?
So can I say for the record that the worst part of Will Smith slapping that dude is that he can't be in the Wild West set?
That's true.
The Wild West song. Good. That song was amazing.
Yeah,
there was a whole movie.
Yeah, and he could have had an amazing card in that set if he had not slapped Chris Brown, and Chris Brown did not destroy his life in the next stand-up special.
It was Chris Rock.
Yeah. Was it Chris Rock?
Yeah, it was not Chris Brown.
Who was it?
It was Chris Rock.
That's what I said.
How is this still a podcast? How have we made it this far?
Hold on. Did I have a stroke? Did he say Chris Brown?
He did. He said Chris Brown.
Okay.
I meant Chris Rock.
Okay. Chris Brown is the one who abused his wife.
Chris Brown. I'm sorry, everybody.
Right? Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Was naughty to Princess Riri.
Yeah, we don't talk about Chris Brown.
No, Chris Brown, dad hombre.
Yeah, much like Bruno, we don't talk about it. I saw Disney on Ice. That was dope. That was so much
Bruno
fun.
Mars?
Oh my God, you're a Disney fan. Yeah. Did I send you the picture when Minnie came up to my daughter and she was like, and I was like, I get Lorcana now. I get it.
Disney is so goat.
I get it.
Did you see Pokemon on Ice?
I don't think that's a thing.
They don't have one.
Nope, it's not.
They don't have that, unfortunately.
Nope, need to be a good idea.
I would go.
Yeah,
I would take her to Pokemon on Ice for sure.
Okay, back to Ravnica Remastered.
Wild West.
So
the point is, like, you can still order this from distro, and this is serialized, right? You have serialized cards, you have a reduced print run, and why would you, as a store, like, I bet you the orders for this next set's gonna be way lower, because everybody kind of was like, play boosters, I want to try it out, I want to make sure I have enough, I don't want to get stuck not having any product, and like now it's just like, I don't know.
I think you're spot on there, and here's my question to you, because you
might just be too late though. I might be on. Other stores may have already beat me to that one.
No, nobody beats you anything, baby. You're always first. I believe in you. Here's the question: you said, stores are just going to stop ordering, but it's been kind of the position on this podcast and something you as a store owner have figured out, like. The backbone of these game stores is Magic and Pokemon. That's what pays your rent. If people just stop ordering, what happens?
Yeah, so like for my store, right, and this is like whatever, singles is like buying and selling singles is the way for stores to make money. We have people come in. We probably bought, I don't know, I'm not at the store today, but I bet you Moore's there and he's probably purchased 10 different people's cards today. And like, sure. That's the stuff that like keeps the lights on. And then for us, we have a huge amount of product. We have 3 massive, walls full of different things. So like if Murders at Carlisle Manor doesn't sell, people will buy Ixalan, people will buy we're doing a Time Spiral remastered draft this weekend. And like we have other ways of bringing money in, and so it's all Magic. But like looking at one set, for me a year ago it would have wrecked me, but now that I've kind of established like it's
but like a couple of things you just mentioned were, hey, I'm doing this draft, we have the sealed product. If you know that theory where game stores stop ordering sealed product or drastically reduce, you get to a point where you don't have that back stock anymore because you stopped ordering. So that's not an option for you anymore. So it just creates this weird bump in the road for this ecosystem that's been built, company to distribution to game store. And it feels like it's for the last year, 2 years, it's just been crumbling.
Yeah, somebody left a comment yesterday or on my video, whatever, that was talking about that's the same in a lot of other industries. So, and I don't know those other industries at all, but the B2B, like business to business stuff, it is not fun in Magic. I mean, especially when they go to Amazon. Like, right, we saw Ravnica Remastered. They just go to Amazon, they sell it below distro cost, direct to consumer. Like, right. I don't know. It's not good. It's ugly.
George, you said that you've seen, and if correct me if I'm wrong, you in your business, I don't want to out what your business is, you carny, but you've seen similar trends where it's like the stuff you used to buy from your distributors is now vastly more expensive. The margins have gotten so much smaller recently. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's funny because my industry is changing back a little bit, like the price, like, so, the carny business is for some reason we're very quick to react. So like either if a game earns, everybody just buys it. Like everybody buys it, and if a game doesn't earn, everybody knows to steer clear. So it's like feast or famine. So what this means is like the games that are feasting, the price just like skyrockets. I bought a Jurassic Park when I first started for $8 or $9 grand.
The One Pieces of the
yeah, exactly, or like Lorcana, like the opposite of like Pokemon. And it's like, do you
think Lost Caverns pumped your game? Like, do you think that's why your game succeeded? Is from Lost Caverns of Ixalan?
There you go.
Jurassic Park's been out for 10 years.
Way more than
way longer than 10 years.
Way more than 10 years.
The arcade game came out about 12 years ago.
Gotcha.
The arcade game. The current iteration. There was one before that was terrible.
I like that's that one.
This Jurassic Park, highest earning.
Somebody commented in the Discord server the other day. Did you see this? They sent a picture of playing the Jurassic Park game. They're like, George did not lie. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's an awesome game.
It is so amazing because like they've basically taken that same code. They've turned into Jurassic. They started off Jurassic Park, turned it into Halo, turned it into Nerf, turn into Rabbids, whatever it's called. There's like 6 games, all the same game, and it's like people just eat it up.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's what they do now, right? Like it's like everything's just Fortnite now.
It's like
it's skinned, it's templated. Yeah,
I mean, like it's such a great business. God, I love the arcade business. We could do a podcast in the arcade business. I love it so much. This business is so terrible. Oh, look, you all make no money. You spend all your money and you get no value back. Welcome to TCGs.
You're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud.
Oh, fair.
But don't worry. Louis pumps a new game every 3 weeks, so we got to keep up.
I do not. I have only pumped one game in a very long time.
Oh my God. Hold on. He wasn't here last week when you said your part out loud.
What did I say out loud?
Cryptic to 1K?
No. He said this is his last indie.
Oh, yeah.
If you believe that, I have a bridge. I want to sell you.
I would, you know what?
Alter TCG is next, calling it now.
I have faith in my boy. I'd buy that bridge.
If it was anything, it would probably be Nom Nom Universe.
Oh my God! Wait, he's talking about
another Nom Nom Universe. I want Nom Nom Universe.
I just publicly supported you, and you.
No, I said if it was anything, it would probably be Nom Nom Universe.
It's going to definitely be another one. It might be Nom Nom Universe.
No.
Oh my God! Please don't.
Victor Larson.
Nope.
That's a name.
This is now a
Nom Nom Universe podcast.
Like
may the Nom Nom be with you.
Then
may the Nom Nom be with you.
May the Nom Nom be with you.
May the Nom Nom be with you. A One Piece podcast. Oh man.
I got offered a Bop It arcade game.
My
yesterday.
favorite part of this podcast is we take our mistakes and we just wear them as our, you gotta
embrace it.
Yeah.
If you can't laugh at yourself, this is the wrong podcast for you.
All right. Speaking of laughing at yourself, Pokemon decided to come out with a set that just basically makes fun of everything Pokemon for the last year. Welcome to release day of Paldean Fates, everybody.
Goat.
What was your quote on the phone today, Louis?
Probably nothing I could say on the podcast.
No, not that one. And by the way, I would never tell that person you said that about them to their face. I swear.
Shout out to you know who.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
I have no idea either.
I don't either. I just made up an arbitrary fake example because I thought it was funny. You were like, the last Paldea set went so well, so let's make a new one with slightly different art.
It's the same art.
Here's my counter to that. They have my favorite pocket monster on the front of the ETB.
Mimikyu?
Oh, is that the weird looking guy? The scraggly guy?
You don't even know his name. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yep. That dude I love that dude.
You know, he just mimics the whatever Pokemon is loved in the room.
I thought that was Mimic.
That is who the Pokemon is, Mimikyu.
Wait, no, I'm talking about the little cat looking guy.
Then you're not looking at the right set.
I think I am.
You're not.
I did that little front page of TCG Player.
If this is your first episode, this is your official May the Zoopy with You moment.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast. Let us know in the comment section below.
The front page of TCG Player, that's called Pikachu.
Oh, I'm talking about. Oh, I'm looking at the Pokemon Center ETB. The Pokemon Center ETB.
That once again is Mimikyu.
The little weird looking cat guy?
That's not a cat. It's a mimic of Pikachu because Pikachu is the most
clever. Oh, I like that. I didn't know that. I like that. That's my favorite pocket monster.
It's like a chameleon.
Chameleon.
Yeah.
I thought you already had that with Ditto.
That is Ditto.
No, Ditto like turns into the same Pokemon. Mimikyu just kind of like mimics it. It's different.
So wait, so Mimikyu can look like any other pocket monster?
Why do you keep saying pocket monster? What's this weird fascination? What are you doing?
I'm starting. Who is Mimikyu?
Yeah, Louis has no idea either. He just shamed me. Is gonna be dead wrong.
I'm pretty sure that is what Mimikyu is. Now, granted, I only know the base, Pokemon. Its exclusive move is Let's Snuggle Forever.
That's dark.
Yeah, the Pokemon itself hides underneath a tattered cloak that is shaped like Pikachu. That's basically what I said.
That's nothing like you said. That's nothing what you said.
It wears Pikachu's skin?
So wait, what does he look like?
Yeah, Mimikyu is a lonely creature who wears the disguise in order to seek affections from humans in the Pokemon world. Listen, I am basically the CEO of Hasbro learning about Magic the Gathering right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm reading Wikipedia.
No, then you'd actually have sales on like this set.
Oh, it's hostile towards Pikachu, often attacking Pikachu on sight.
Wait, it's on sight. They fight each other?
Bro, it's on sight, bro.
That's kind of what Pokemon is.
I thought you had a cat. I thought you were a dude walking around.
No, bro, it's not in the wild. Not in the wild. No, it's on sight.
George,
I see the colors you're wearing. It's on sight, George.
Pokemon are basically animals, but we just gave them names.
But he's a snuggle monster.
Yeah. Okay, so Paldean Fates. Okay, there's a couple things here. First off,
George, this is you. This Pokemon's you.
Hot take.
You're a snuggle monster that just copies us.
Hot take for this podcast. This set's going to do really well.
Time out. No. You cannot be no. I'm not gonna let you do this. No arbitrary hot take allowed. Define really well right now. Define it right now.
This is gonna do as well as like 151 has done. Like this will be a set that I will restock. People will keep coming in for
in your store or everywhere. Because I'll add it to the tracker. There's no chance.
Add it to the tracker.
151.
So here's your problem with Pokemon on TCG Player. Is like nobody trusts Pokemon has this massive trust issue. It's a massive Pokemon collectors have a massive trust issue. If they open up an ETB from TCG Player that doesn't have a hit in it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is resealed." Like it just doesn't.
But the 7 people in West Virginia will be a better example.
I'm not saying that my store would be a good example. I'm telling you that people will come in and will be excited to open this set.
I agree with you that you will say people came in and are excited to open the set if that's what you're saying.
Shout out to that one guy that buys a pack every week.
Holler.
He's my favorite.
You guys didn't shout him out during murders.
He does. There's no more draft.
Even he's not going to pay you for that pack. Even he's not buying that pack.
I thought the draft box was just the play box, and everybody saw it as the same thing.
It basically is.
So don't you throw his takes back at him. He doesn't remember what they are.
It's a rip-off draft booster.
It's a draft booster on steroids, if anything. That's why. That's a wild take. 151.
That's a wild and wrong take.
Okay, so here's my. Everybody loves the shiny, like shiny fates, hidden fates, all those fates.
No, they don't.
Yes,
no, they don't. They love hidden fates. Dude. That's the one. You said the one. You said the one that they love. Then you try to work in shining fates as if we wouldn't notice you said it.
I sell shining fates packs all the time, dude.
For how much?
Like $7. That's what shining fates packs are in our store. Again, you can't look up a pack price on TCG.
Shining
Fates came out 2 years ago. 3 years ago. It came out 3 years ago.
It's still available.
It came out 3 years ago. Still available at distro. People love it.
Yeah, I mean, they've sold out and they've restocked it. Pokemon has their own printers now, baby.
3 years, Louis. They haven't reprinted that set in forever. Nobody wants Shining Fates. Nobody. Nobody.
Now I kind of want some Shining Fates, just because.
Yeah.
Nobody. You could go to Louis' store.
People really like opening.
Hold on, Louis, where can I buy some Shining Fates?
You can't. I don't. Oh, you might be able to buy it on the website, GameGrove.gg. Who knows? Who knows what's on the website these days?
Yeah, assist. I'm like the best point guard on this podcast. I'm just go get it, fellas.
It's below MSRP 3 years later on TCG Player.
Oh yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Paladin Fate's also below MSRP already on release weekend. But
this is not going well.
Right.
This is not looking great.
Amazing.
I think it's gonna be all right.
What if this is the one? What if this is the set where Pokemon drastically underprints and Louis is so right because the box is just tripled?
Don't worry. The lowest seller on TCG Player, guess who it is?
MVP
Sports.
The GOAT.
Do you think you just have it?
I love that you try to work Shining Fates in with Hidden Fates as if we wouldn't notice.
Josh, it all connects. Do you remember my take last week?
Which one?
About One Piece? That they were losing distro? That they were changing distros? Now MVP Sports and More has to make up for the fact that they're not going to be able to sell One Piece anymore through their actual name. And so they have to dump all this product.
So they have to dump all their magic to get their cash back.
And Pokemon. Listen, the web goes deeper. It goes deeper.
It does go deeper.
The only part of the dump that bothered me is that it was partnered with TCG Player. I didn't. If MVP Sports wants to go and throw all their boxes up at $129.99, that's their business. Who am I to stop them? But to get TCG Player to advertise it felt so wrong. It just felt grimy. Like I needed a shower. It's gross.
Welcome to, dude. You want to feel like you need to take a shower?
Were you just hold on? Were you going to ask me if I wanted to take a shower with
you?
That's
exactly what he just said.
You should.
When you're in Chicago, you're not staying at my house.
Go ask your local game store to look up their TCG Player sales data from last year and see how much money TCG Player took from your local game store. It is disgusting. How much money?
I love how much it drives you crazy.
It is
this doesn't drive you that crazy because I said we should replace them.
There's no shot. There's no ability to. Somebody left a comment that was like, stores should just stop selling on TCG Player. I said that's a great way for me to go out of business. Just stop selling on TCG Player. But yeah, no, I don't know.
I'm sure ETBs on TCG Player right now.
People can use my TCG Player affiliate link in the description of my videos, and then it won't matter.
Hold on.
How much are they on? How much are the ETBs?
ETBs $44.
The way you described that was so much better. The way you described that as a man of the people, I was behind. When Louis was like, hey, this is how much I had to pay TCG Player last year. And if you click my link, you can help me claw some of that money back.
I did that pretty well.
I will say this. They are moving some boxes.
That's the best way to do that.
Well, they are moving. Well, no, I guess not move that many boxes.
ETBs are really weird on TCG Player, though, because, like, I don't know why you would sell one as a store. even at MSRP, if you're selling them for 50, because you got to spend $10 to ship them.
Yeah.
So even at MSRP, you're losing money on a sale, and so like I think that's another reason, Josh. Like it's just a weird one to track for this set because it's only ETBs. You might consider like looking at the cases, but I don't know who buys an ETB case.
No, but the data would still be good compared to set though. It'd still be one versus set.
ETBs and the 2 Pokemon sets that we've tracked sell like hotcakes. So even though it's not maybe beneficial for stores to sell them, maybe there's losing money.
Dump it somehow. Ain't nobody buying Pokemon otherwise.
Why on earth do they short print the booster bundles?
I mean, look at
solves all the problems.
It's my favorite part of Pokemon.
It would be $4 to ship it. Like the booster bundles should just be the product. They should only get rid of everything else and only have booster bundles. Why does anything exist?
Doing sets without a booster box bugs me.
Why does anything exist? Well, we have our title for the podcast.
Don't text me at 1 a.m. asking for a title. Yeah. It's why does anything exist?
Why does anything exist?
And it's George fading out even more.
He'll just be gone. I don't know.
I don't know. The ETBs, like looking at the Paradox Rift TCG player numbers, ETBs sell good. You're right. More people buy them in sets than anything, but that's the same for like starter decks or anything at that $40 price point. Commander decks. Most people are buying the set to have it. But my biggest gripe is still why are you printing a set without a booster box? I would own so much 151.
Oh, they do that all the time.
I know. I hate it. I'm telling you, I hate it. I'm telling you, I hate it. I hate it. I would own so much 151 if it came in a booster box because when I was bored, I just crack one of those things. I stopped playing Pokemon Go when they added more than the 151. I'm a boomer. I want the original Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, like even 151 dipped down to this $45 price point, and it's back up. But,
yeah.
This will be an interesting one. I actually am excited about it. So it's gotten pretty allocated, not for you, but like I tried to get
allocated.
I didn't get allocated because I asked for not that much of this one.
Okay, so I got allocated not from you or me, but others probably.
No, I tried to get more. So what happened is I had some people reach out.
You want some?
No, because it'll take you too long to ship it to me. We've been through this. I would have taken some if you could ship it out. Like
I was in Boston. I was at Duke. I'm sorry.
Not my problem. Not my problem.
I'm trying to cure the world.
Stop. We get it. You are doing something good for a good cause. Stop rubbing it in our face and using it.
You can also do good things. You can also do good things. You guys can also do good in the world.
I do.
Or you could just show up and talk about TCGs and stop making everyone feel guilty.
I don't care about TCGs.
I don't like that. I actually like George the Guilter. I think that's
you make a podcast about things that people care about. I'll be here every week.
I talk about Taylor Swift occasionally.
People care about TCGs.
Oh my God. Did you guys see the Jason Kelce thing this week?
No. Oh my gosh. I'm so sick of Taylor Swift is ruining football, everybody.
I love that you hate things that are fun.
Football. I miss watching football without seeing Taylor Swift's face.
You know what? I thought you'd be more excited about this. We have a hefty man, shirtless, drinking beers. Louis, we have a representative, and you are shunning him.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Is this her boyfriend's?
It doesn't matter. There's a hefty, shirtless dude chugging beers. Get behind this.
I'm behind it.
And he was jumping in and out of the box.
In and out of the like, you're going to get a suite.
Drunk as a skunk.
Your response to getting a suite is to jump out of the suite and drink beers with the people.
And he joined the Bills Mafia, rooting for the other team, and they embraced him.
Well, he was not rooting for the other team. I don't think that's accurate. I don't think he was rooting for that team. In fact, when his brother scored a touchdown, he jumped out of the box to mock Bills Mafia and then jumped back into his.
That's what I'm saying. He was rooting against the Bills, but like the Bills Mafia still accepted him.
I got you.
I will get into the sports ball conversations with you guys if you want to do that.
You're my least favorite.
I don't care what you get into, boss.
You're so much of a nerd.
Sports game.
You're so much of a nerd, just like I am. But I have to call it sports ball because that makes me sound cooler in the culture.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah.
I don't watch
the game. Does that?
I do. There's a guy who comes in the shop. I'm not going to use his name because I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to know this. I already know this. But every week we talk about gambling, sports gambling. He got. This is crazy. Apparently, Apparently, you sign up for these sports gambling things, and they give you free money to bet.
Oh no,
First one's free,
Louis, I know you, Louis. I know
first
you,
one's
and
free,
I love
bud.
you. Please don't do this. Please don't do
send me
this,
your parlays, Louis. Send me your parlays,
Please
buddy.
don't
I'm
do
doing
this,
with you.
Louis. I know your personality,
So
Louis.
his whole Twitter and Reddit is just people like sharing their bets, and he just kind of matches their bets, and he's like made good money. So
Louis, please don't do this. Louis, I'm begging you.
Yeah, we'll see.
No.
I thought it would be a great second podcast for us.
George,
No,
it would be.
Watch
No, it would be.
Louis become addicted and lose his house is not a great second podcast.
If we
I
can
will
create a
find
podcast, hold on, Boo Boo. If we can create a podcast on something we don't know anything about, TCGs, and be relatively successful, then certainly we can make a podcast on something we don't know anything about, sports gambling or sports betting or sports, and be successful. Josh told me he would have been an NBA basketball player.
No,
If
that is not true.
If he
That is
had
not true at
everything
all.
different about him,
You have lied. You have lied to the people. I told you the exact opposite.
He goes, we were on the phone. He was coming home from basketball. We were just chatting. I was like, are you good at basketball? Like, give me your. He's like, yeah, I'm really good. I said, then why don't you play the NBA?
then why are you one of the 50 best players, Josh? Have you thought about that?
Fat and 35 now? Like,
did you hear that? The what's his name? The Scalabrini guy, the White Mamba.
Yeah.
And he was like, let me be clear here. What do you say? Like,
I'm close.
I suck compared to Kobe. You suck compared to me.
He goes, like, I'm closer to LeBron James than you are to me.
Yeah, and he's funny, like, a bunch of like tryhards like you probably would be, Louis.
Where does he?
I can take him on,
then?
and they got wrecked.
He's better than Michael
the
Jordan.
Scallenge. Oh, you're talking about the Scallenge?
Yeah.
We could do an hour on the Scallenge.
Okay.
There was college basketball players that played him one-on-one and just got destroyed.
Of course. I mean, like, you have to be really good to be in the NBA.
Dude, I met like some NBA players at this run that we were at as an invite thing, and I shook hands and I saw these humans and I went, oh, that can never be me.
No,
I'm a freak and they are different.
So I met a couple this past weekend of D1 players.
And
I shook their hands, and it was like, oh, your hand is the size of my torso.
Yeah. Like, I'm a freak. I can palm a basketball out of thin air. They are different humans.
It's insane.
Okay, so
and they can they're that tall, and they can do the moves. They got the moves.
They're coordinated. They look nothing like Louis.
You remember when I used to keep us on track? What happened to that?
You got us off track.
I know. What happened to? All right, let's move on. We are an hour in, so it's time to talk about sorcery.
I like that every once in a while you just throw us how long we've been talking. Like, you're just like, hey, by the way.
As soon as we hit an hour, we always talk about sorcery. That's kind of the rule on the podcast.
I want you to know, if you guys don't tag the sorcery part is starting during the basketball talk, whoever tags the sorcery time, dead to me.
I'm a little disappointed. There was only one tag this past time. People need to.
I wasn't there. Nobody listens when I'm not there.
I think.
You want to know why?
I wasn't there.
Because there's only one set a year. Nothing's happened.
Well, I think what really happens is people see that somebody already tagged it, and then they think it's not as important.
I was transitioning us. I did so well.
They need to keep tagging it. Keep telling us where the One Piece section is. It's my favorite comment every week. All right, one set a year. I want to. We've talked about this every week on the podcast. Josh brings it up. George brings it up. You
also bring it up.
We have
bring it up.
We have not had a full-fledged debate and understanding and argument about it. And I want us to just go in. I want to go in on the one set a year.
What part of
every part of it
fictional history do you love the most? I know it's a lot of it, but like, do you have like a certain era of history fiction that you?
I have a challenge based on that statement. Somebody needs to create a May the Zoo be with you conspiracy Twitter account and just start tweeting May the Zoo be with you conspiracies.
Real talk. It would be great if somebody would start a May the Zoo be with you Twitter account and just run it and just make it sound like we say things, because
somebody's going to do that and it's not going to be nice. That was a big mistake on y'all's part. Yeah. That's all right. I'm here.
It'll happen.
I'm sorry. Nothing that is said about me on the internet has been nice so far. So.
I think I've been well loved on the internet.
It's just all the whole Twitter is just people's comments about Josh in the comment section.
Does Josh get dunked on in the sorcery section?
Apparently, I've been collecting a lot of dubs in the comment section.
Is that true?
I know.
That's what I've been told.
I just go and heart everyone just to know that they read it. That's my new thing. I just doesn't matter what you say. Boom, heart.
But you just admitted to not reading it.
Yeah, like what? Now your heart means nothing.
Some of them. I've been sending you guys some of them.
Gonna break. What's that song? Gonna.
Okay, so one set a year. So that's the
Give my heart a break. That song is a bop. That song is a bop.
That's the release model for Sorcery. Now, recently in an interview with Eric, was Simon in there too? I think it was just Eric. Simon. Oh, it was the interview that Simon did with Eric. So it was both of them.
You're talking about the cardboard guide interview? Because that was Simon and Eric.
No, this is the one that they put out at the end of the year, the retrospective. They talked about it briefly about the idea of would they add another set? Would they do more if they could? And they said basically if we could do it right, if we could do it really well, that they would do more sets a year. So it's not out of the question. Would they eventually start adding multiple sets a year? Certainly out of the question for 2024. But and then we also know there's these like kind of looser, very tiny sets coming out that like we know there's one coming up. We think it's with Ed Beard Jr. About dragons that are not like a full-fledged set or release. So give us your guys' arguments why that's really bad, and then I want to come up with some other thoughts to it.
What?
I just want to put this in one place. Okay.
All right. I feel you.
We've been all over with it. We've brought it up multiple times. I want to put it in one place.
So one piece, basically.
I've been. Yeah, Jesus. Why is your new One Piece fascination so annoying to me?
He's gonna get tendies because he finally got hooked up with GTS.
Shout out to MVP Sports and Games. Maybe.
When they ban both of us for this podcast, it's over. It's done.
But they're not banning. Oh, but you two? I was about to say I got none.
I haven't said anything about them this week. I've always defended MVP. Me and them have the same beefs.
That's fair.
It's for dinner.
I forgot we had the same beefs.
We have the same beefs.
Yeah.
Me, them, Rudy.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
And me. I'm there. One set a year.
Go ahead, Josh.
I just don't truly believe anyone wants it. I know that the comment section is always full of, that's why I got into this. They don't. They're already jonesing for something else. They want something new. They're talking about the next set. The sales on this product has slowed. They want more than one set a year. They just don't want 12. I think there's a healthy middle ground. I also just push back on the take of, well, they can do one set a year because they're backed by this massive financial vault of all this money. But yeah, if it's run like a business, sooner or later, they're going to want more money. They're going to want to stabilize. They're going to want the business to pay for itself. So I don't know. I am not a believer in the one set a year. I also don't think you can go without holding your fan base's attention when everything is vying for your customers' attention, from Pokemon to Magic to pick an indie trading card game. You cannot just set it and forget it and be like, hey, we hope when we release our next set, you'll turn to us again. You have to do something to stay in their mind, in the front of their focus.
Okay.
Go ahead, Louis.
No, I'm not countering anything. I want to hear your guys.
You started off by saying
you started off by saying I want this to be a debate. You said let's debate, let's fight.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not saying anything new right now, because I know how you do this.
So Josh, let me ask this: why do you think that it that they are only doing one set? What do you think the reasoning is for one set a year? Like the actual. Like
they've said, this is not my opinion. They've said it's because the art takes so long to develop, right? Because it's all the custom art. Is that not correct?
I think that's one of the biggest parts of it, right? Like they're not digital art, so the art takes a long time, and they have a number of artists, right? They have 403 cards, and I think there's. Let me open I just have alpha things laying around. They have like 18 artists that they on the card.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
They have like 18 artists, right? So it takes a long time. I think that's a big part. I think also like the team's small. That's not something to even speculate on. They have a small team, so they have to like making multiple sets a year is tough for that.
Sure,
there's those reasons. Do you think that a card game can come in and be not the center focus of their goal to not be the center focus of a consumer but to be a secondary focus of a consumer and be successful.
Like, will the company exist? Will they print boxes every year? Sure. But that's not, I don't know. I view card games and business and the things I do differently. Like, I've been open about the fact that I'll use a personal example. We've talked about my YouTube channel is not growing fast enough for my liking. I set standards. I want things to grow. If by all metrics, like, I have a YouTube channel that is better than 95% that are ever started, because it's grown to a certain point. But I see these things. I cannot imagine looking at a card game or a company or anything and saying, hey, we're not really growing, but we're not really shrinking. We're just kind of here as success. Like, oh,
well, that's not exactly why. Like, the question is not, are they growing or not? The question was, can it be a success to be, if sorcery is is a lot of players' second favorite game, something that they are really into. They play Magic. They go to Magic pre-releases every week. They love Magic. They play Friday Night Magic, and 2 or 3 times a month they sit down and they play sorcery and they engage with sorcery. Can that be a success in and of itself?
Yes, but you cannot do that by taking Magic the Magic community, and maybe this is just my opinion. You cannot do that by taking the Magic community, waving at them once every 8 months, and then disappearing. I mean, every industry has acknowledged this. You constantly talk about video games. Video games have acknowledged through patches, through the gotcha system, through in-app purchases, that we cannot just give you a fun game and then back off, because you will go somewhere else. You will forget about us. And when we release our next game, some of you will come back, and then some of you will come back. But we will lose players over time. I don't think a TCG is I guess absent from this problem. It's not the exception to this rule. We've talked about it. People are going to age out. There's always going to be a reason not to
George,
collect
who
trading
is
cards.
Snoring into your microphone?
My Rubers.
God.
Oh my God.
That is obnoxious.
That's wild.
That's my dog. It's my sweet little angel Rubers.
I couldn't hear anything Josh was saying because I just kept hearing that in the background.
I would much rather hear Ruby snore than Josh.
Your sweet little angel sounds like my late grandfather.
So I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Do you remember? Do you? Maybe you're different than me, but
yes, thank God.
I get a feeling that maybe you're the same. I had a great conversation the other day with somebody that's a fan of the show, somebody who watches the podcast a lot.
Is it my friend Donald?
No, they brought this idea up, so I'm not going to tell you who it was.
Wait, hold on. Shout out to Scruffy Gaming. Louis, we'll link it below for my friend Donald. Shout out to the goat Donald.
Did you just say they brought up this idea, so I'm not going to tell you who it was?
Yeah, as in, not going to tell you who it was.
This does my own. Okay.
No, they don't need the credit. But do you remember? Maybe you're the same as me. Maybe you're not. Do you remember how you used to feel about Star Wars? Are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
What is going on right now?
Do you remember how you used to feel about Star Wars?
Yes.
You used to like it. Why?
See, this isn't going to work. This is not going to go how you think it's going to go.
So here's my thought. I used to love Star Wars. Every year, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. May the zoo be with you. The whole podcast is named after Star Wars. This has been a Star Wars podcast since the beginning.
God, nobody more viewers that were.
We would be so much happier too. We'd be so much happier. And we'd have a TCG coming out soon that we can talk about.
I'm doing Star Wars TCG.
Did you get the package of stuff today? I got like an enormous sheets. I got like the posters.
We're doing it Tuesday night, baby. Tuesday nights.
When's it come out?
February something, middle of February, end of February. Anyway, the idea that we were talking about was this thought of like Star Wars used to be this thing that once a year there was a big release, or once every couple of years there's a big release that everybody would go to, and it would reinvigorate the fan base. It would reinvigorate people to go back and watch all the movies. Like for me, like I used to have every May 4th on Star Wars Day, I would do a marathon. Like I would get all the guys in from the college dorm, and we'd like all watch Star Wars in college. Like it was so much fun. Like it was a blast. And we revisit this thing. And then what happened with Star Wars now is like There's 400 TV shows. There's a new movie like every 3 days. They have completely like gone way overboard, and now nothing is special, and I have zero interest in it. I haven't watched one of the, like I started off with The Mandalorian. I really liked it, but now there's so many different Star Wars things. I have zero interest in Star Wars. I have not watched a Star Wars.
Are you not going to watch Ahsoka?
No, nope. I have not watched a Star Wars movie for probably 3 years. I haven't watched the old one.
Because
I don't care about the new ones. I just don't care about Star Wars anymore because they ruined Star Wars.
You could watch Ahsoka. Ahsoka would be so good.
By overdoing it, they ruined Star Wars. So while I agree that one set a year is not favorable and I wish they were doing more, I do think that there is a certain
Wait, so why don't you think it's favorable then?
I think it's not favorable for stores. I think it's really difficult for stores because, like, why carry this game if you can only get boxes for 3 days and then there's no restock from distro and
except for
you have a full year. That's it.
The store that I'm not allowed to mention because I get edited, but Josh doesn't.
Sure. Like that is a whole. That's another big issue. I'm talking more from a consumer perspective, though. The idea that like. I still think like twice a year would be better, but having something that you revisit once a year, I think there's a market for that people, that it's easy to say one set a year is going to fail, but it's hard to see the benefit of what that can do to somebody who says, man, I went all in for 2 or 3 months. I played a bunch. I learned the decks. I got really excited. I collected, I finished my set. And then I took a break, and then spoiler season came off, and then all of a sudden I came back to it and I revisited it and I had fun with it again. And I picked up the new set and I enjoyed it. And it's like
you added something there. You added they came back. And that's I think that's the crux of the disagreement. Is like you will have less people come back every year. And almost inherently.
Maybe
you also start.
Louis, like if one person falls off, you will have less people. So like it's like my question has always been.
You're saying that nobody new is going to come to the game.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have less people come in. So my question is like I think you almost certainly have less people every release.
Oh,
it's much. The
game has grown since beta release in the last 2 months. The game has grown.
Yeah. It is much easier to retain customers than find new ones. This is universally known. And so, like, they're setting themselves up to what are you doing?
To drink. This is the only thing around me.
I have that same water bottle.
Is that breast milk?
Those are good water bottles until they drop them on their feet.
I wish.
That was of all the responses to that question. That wasn't the one.
Didn't see that coming.
That wasn't the one.
I don't want to get into it.
Well, no, I do.
All right.
What are you drinking?
Just pretend Carol's here.
What are you drinking?
My wife. Nothing. Here we go. Water.
That is definitely not water. I don't know what it is, but I know what it's not.
It's water.
I like how you're like, I can't see anything in it. You're like, it's water.
All right, continue.
It's much easier to retain current customers than find new ones. This is universally known in basically every business.
Okay.
So like they're setting themselves up to make it harder on themselves. And I've said this before. I think viewing sorcery as a TCG is a fundamental misunderstanding of the game and the company. It is an experiment in a new way to understand board games. That's why I've changed my tune on it. That's why, because I think like once you get rid of all the bozos, I'm not gonna name names, or certain YouTube channels that are like, oh, it's going to the moon, oh! And like that, like once you get rid of those people, not naming names, like it's a good game if you like board games. And so like,
it's a good game if you like trading card games though too. It's a good game if you like trading card games. I don't think it's I don't think so. Like I think it's. Why? Why is it not a good game if you like trading card games?
Because I don't know why it's a better trading card game than a lot of other trading card games.
I'm not saying it's a better trading card game, but why is it
why
not
would you play a better trading card game?
Like,
if there's a better trading card game, why wouldn't you play that game?
Why do you go play One Piece? What's the reason people play One Piece?
It's a better experience from the fast trading card game.
It's a quick game.
Like if
One Piece were as long as Magic, nobody would play it.
The vast majority of people who play One Piece are going to play One Piece because they like the anime. They like the IP. They like the way the cards look. They like the big boobs on their cards. They like the feeling of the game.
I bet that's why they play their first 20 games of One Piece.
Did they make that milk that you just
and then Josh, what do they fall in love with?
The gameplay.
No, they fall in love with the people that they play the game with. The people. No, yes, it is. You guys do not like. The reason people come back to my store every single Wednesday night to play Commander is not because of Magic the Gathering.
Hold on.
That I agree with.
Comparing Commander, to One Piece.
To Magic, I'm saying the reason that they come to draft night is not because of the draft that we're firing or whatever. It's because it's the same 10 to 15 people. They become friends. They want to know how each other are doing. And it's an excuse for people to hang out and to enjoy something.
So that further creates the argument then that like, if you're going to have less people in the community because there's one set a year and people fall off, which we both agreed to, the community will. We did not. You did say that. You started off with this.
You didn't say anything about that point when I corrected you on it. What do you say? No, that's not what I said, and then you moved on.
No, we've talked in the past.
Going to fall off, right? You said that,
but more people come in and become a part of it. While people are falling off, the game still grows.
But there's been one set. We have no idea if that's true or not yet. We have no clue if that's true or not yet. There's been one set.
Alpha. We've seen that since beta.
That's the two. That's one set split in two. Like you can say it like that's one set. They've released one set of cards. There's been no second set yet. We have no idea if they're going to attract new players or not. No earthly clue.
Yes, we
Neither
do
one of us do.
We do. There's content being made about the game. There's people coming into the community all the time, George.
Louis, stop. Like, come on, man. Like, I've changed my tune on sorcery, but come on. We have no idea.
Facebook groups are growing. The Discord server's growing. Like, there are people
leave those things, Louis.
Huh?
I'm part of 1,000 Facebook groups I haven't visited in years. I think I'm part of a Discord I've got banned from. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, like that's a terrible gauge, and
you're not supposed to know that you're part of my Discord.
That's
a terrible gauge. You know that. Like at the end of the day, so we have no idea if more people are going to come in with Arthurian legends than left or not yet. We have no.
You and I have been on record. We've had public conversations about the biggest moments for trading card game growth is release events. 100%. That is the largest and you are willingly giving up your largest opportunity for growth, and you're leaning on all of the minor growth opportunities. You have to admit, even as someone who steadfast wants to stand in this corner, that having a small TCG community, which all indie TCGs are small communities, that's what they are, that's how they exist. Having that small community, knowing that TCGs have people fall off, especially indies all the time, and willingly giving up your largest opportunity for player growth on a yearly basis.
Right.
It feels like the logical conclusion is you're either going to stay steady and not grow, or not grow in a fast, meaningful way, because you've given up the largest way to do so. Right. And maybe that's okay. Maybe small, steady growth.
I'm not making the argument that sorcery will grow faster as a result of one set per year. That's not the argument that I'm making.
So
I agree with your statement that if they released more sets a year, it would be easier to grow new players.
But what is your argument?
What, Josh?
Louis.
Hold on.
Louis. What is your argument?
Finishing with Josh. What
happens, Louis, is any turbulence. We've talked about this. Games cannot get it right all the time. There will be turbulence. It's going to happen. Guess what? Team Covenant's going to get all of the next set too and piss everyone off. There's going to be turbulence. When you have any kind of downswing, there isn't the big follow-up upswing, the big follow-up intake to try to balance that out. And given that one is going to happen, unless sorcery is the only TCG that never, ever does anything that ticks off a portion of its player base in the history of its game, they just never do it, then you are going to see less people come in than go out.
I agree that you're going to have less people coming. I agree that the maximum efficiency of growing a game is to have multiple releases. Yeah. The point that I am making on this podcast is that one set a year also brings in, as much as as much as it's not as efficient at bringing in new people, it also brings in an excitement level, a way for people to enjoy something without this constant battering of product in their faces.
But can I ask you? The difference isn't 1 or 20; it could be 1 or 3.
Right. Well, they're also doing the supplemental sets, which is what
maybe we haven't seen any of those yet, and they're not. And we now know that the one that they're doing is going to be after Arthurian Legends, which was everything they said beforehand.
Yeah.
So again, and they're doing that for the reason that we're arguing. They need more excitement to last throughout the year.
So then Louis, let me ask you this: do you believe that there's a space in the world where every company, indie video games, indie TCGs, small music bands, small music creators on TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, they're missing an entire section of consumer, because the general consensus when it comes to marketing the thing you're trying to sell is I need to inundate my consumer with it because there's so many other things pulling at their attention. I need to give them as much opportunity as possible to focus on my thing. Right. Are you saying that you think there's an entire section that I would argue every industry is ignoring, that you could, comic books, collectibles, sports cards, that you could, because that's what Sorcery's trying to do. They're trying to say everyone is wrong. Everyone across every industry.
Like, this is where we are arguing different things here.
Then why are they the only ones doing it?
They're saying for them in their current growth strategy, in their current place of where they are, it doesn't make sense for them to do more things. So the best way I would explain is this. So Skyrim, right? Skyrim, great game, really deep. You can sit on Skyrim and you can play through Skyrim for 1 billion hours and have a different experience every time you hop in and play because of the depth of the game. But not going to have, Skyrim might be a bad example, but not going to have as many players as Fortnite. Fortnite's going to come out with the battle pass every week, is going to have a whole new thing. It's a whole different, every week is a new exciting thing, a new release. You got different maps, you have different whatever, and every kid in the whole world is playing Fortnite. Whereas Skyrim, you're going to have a nerdier, sweatier culture of people who just dive in a much deeper way, right?
Sure.
That is where I see. What, George? What were your stats?
Skyrim sold over. God, we are in the wrong. This is the last May this do be with you. This is it. It's been great seeing you all. Next week we're going to do a Skyrim podcast.
Don't look at video.
What are we doing with our lives? There's 4 people who care about this damn game. 60 million people are playing Skyrim, and we're here talking about the 25 freaking TCG players.
It was 60 million. Did you look up Fortnite?
No, not yet. I was next. I was too flabbergasted. Unit sales in millions. So 60
just to kind of cap off your point,
500 million play Fortnite, active players.
It's just like, what are we doing with our lives?
What, Josh?
There's also those people. Look at the people that are dedicated and playing Skyrim through the whole time, who come back to the next Skyrim. Guess what they do? They're changing the game. They're upset because there's not a new Skyrim. They're downloading mods. They're downloading community maps and quests, but they're adding to the game in meaningful way.
But they're not upset and not leaving and not like excited about the game
because they're getting new things.
But they're creating it themselves, and the same thing can happen with a TCG. You can create things yourself. You can play with the different.
People aren't going to create cards for sorcery.
People are creating new I literally 2 weeks ago I tried on the podcast to show you guys, we made a different field grid system and we had a blast playing it. That's a great enjoyable way that we played the game differently that the community came up with.
Yes, but the core of the game is the cards. The cards, yes, you're right. You will play on a new table. That is 100% true. But there's no one creating new cards. And if the community starts creating new cards, I would look at that as, hey, the company should probably speed up and make some new cards because we want some new cards. Right? I would argue Skyrim should have been developing patches. They should have been making new maps. Why? Because the demand is more than clearly there. I look at this as a failure on Skyrim's part. They left all this on the table. They could have boosted their community. They could have created this stuff and satiated a ravenous player base, and they didn't. That's why these things had to be created.
But the same thing also, the opposite also happens too. Look at Destiny, right? Like Destiny came out with Destiny 2 and all these different patches, and they lost half of their player base.
There's a massive difference there. One was a good game that's wildly considered a classic candidate. The other is a game that came out to less than fanfare, and people were just distraught by its release.
Look at StarCraft 2.
Two comparable things.
I've played way too much Destiny and way too much RuneScape in my life. If I would have taken that time and applied it to something like creative, I could be successful today.
You know,
you did. It's TCGs, and here we are.
Last year,
you started playing what?
I stopped playing StarCraft 2 in October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? I thought you played a game every day.
I did. I've stopped in October.
George, how many updates has StarCraft 2 had in the last 20 years?
A trillion.
Yeah.
It drives us all crazy because the game wildly goes from balance to balance, and like this race is Imba, that race is Imba, this is Imba, and like
same thing,
changes everything. And I'm like, would you like stop? Like one patch a year is fine. The game's older than you.
One patch a year is fine. This is the point I'm trying to make.
Is George the consumer you want to appeal to?
Yes. I think the problem with the way we come about these things differently is that for you, again, we go back to the same thing every week. The success for you guys
we've never
is
talked
that
about it.
Sorcery has to compete and sell the same number of boxes as Magic, Pokemon, Lorcana.
Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that.
You do this every time we have this conversation. When you
don't blow too hard, your straw man will fall over.
It's so frustrating.
I agree, because I think it's hilarious and it frustrates Josh because I just know you're going to be an idiot during this segment.
Yeah, because I try to have a genuine conversation with you. And you're like,
that with Louis,
not going to sell as many boxes as Magic. Of course it's not. Of course it's not.
There is
what are you saying?
Whatever NDTCG Louis on that month, you know it's going to be some nonsense. You got to stick with it.
There's a middle ground where TCG players should sell somewhere between Magic and the zero that it's sold recently. There's room in there to like settle in.
So I think that one of the cool things with this too is that they can come up with like new avatars and new things, and like I hope the Dragon set, and I do hope they do more than one of those a year, but the Dragon set could have a new avatar that could completely shift everything. It almost works as downloadable content, right? Where it completely shifts and gives value.
Your savior of an argument is to do more than one thing a year, and that's what we're saying. We're saying do that.
You're saying sets. You're saying full sets.
I don't care. I don't care what you want to call it. Paint you know what? Let's call it Louis extravaganzas. Do more than one Louis extravaganza a year. Something to change up the game more than once a year in a meaningful way. If you give me 2 cards, that's not enough. Something. So whatever you want to call it, dude. More than one a year.
The topic was 1 set a year. That's what we were discussing.
So wait, it's a mini set. A mini set counts as a set. It's a mini space set. It's a set.
Definition. So glad this is your last one. This is like it's like you demand.
I want everyone to know this is my favorite segment because Josh never understands how to handle Louis during his game of the month.
Because not like game of the month.
You gotta like sorcery for a year. You've gotta just like
laugh at me. Anytime I talk Magic, anytime I talk Magic, and
what's another NDTCG like I've talked about other than sorcery in the last year?
You talked about Cryptic.
In the last year?
A lot. Yeah.
In the last 6 months.
Probably Cryptic.
Nope.
One Piece.
One Piece isn't indie. We've talked about this.
Well, it was Lorcana until you had boxes to sell.
All right, let's move on to.
Oh no, we're not moving on. Hold on, we're not moving on. I want to shout out. No, I want to shout out Chris Scott. You see this?
Hey, dude, isn't that sick?
Chris Scott from Facebook sent Louis to send to me a crimped giant shark. How sweet is this? How dope is this?
It's like a shark bit it.
Not only that.
Story on that.
It's a shark bitten shark.
He posted that in the sale group, and I said, "I'll buy it, but only if you'll send it to Josh." And then he was like, "Oh, don't buy it. I want to send it to him. I forgot that's his favorite thing."
This thing is going on. It's literally going on the shelf right now.
That's awesome.
That came in the mail. I was like, "Oh my god, this!" And it looks like a shark bite. How dope is that? It's amazing. Big shout! Thank you so much. That's awesome.
George,
I put the picture of the thing I want you to show in the general of the Discord.
All right, one piece prizing. We're talking about competitive TCGs here, baby. Did you tag me in it too? Wow,
yeah, that way you know it. That way,
I'm surprised you knew how to do that.
I do.
Okay, what am I looking at?
Somebody asked me to friend them on Discord. I have no idea how to do that though.
Tell me what I'm looking at.
You're looking at an uncut sheet, which I believe was given to the top 16 players. I want to say
that Monkey D. Luffy in the middle is selling for $3,500.
So this has been the big discussion in One Piece. Is I believe, I'll be interested to see if this is true or if people can disprove this. The top prizing for Lorcana has the most value of
Lorcana
any prizing.
One Piece?
One Piece. I'm sorry. I was thinking GOAT, and I guess I automatically thought of Lorcana. I apologize.
Because you're pumping this right now. Like I'm all for pumping on the podcast. Just keep it straight.
So listen, One Piece, second best game ever made.
And if you want to buy any of these games, you can go to GameGrove.gg.
GameGrove.gg.
You cannot buy One Piece. You can buy Lorcana. You can buy Floodborne for $120 at GameGrove.gg. Everybody.
Really?
Yep. Go buy it all, baby.
We did the bump section of the podcast. This is the dump section of the podcast.
So if you win, if you get the Big Daddy prize, you get a first place trophy card. I believe that has been. I believe one sold for 6 figures. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe one sold for. I know it sold for at least 5. I think it sold for 6 figures. You get a first place trophy. You get a championship event pack finalist version 2, and you get a top player pack ×2. You get 5 booster boxes. That alone is worth like $50,000 right now. And you get airfare to the big championship, and you get an uncut sheet.
So what's your statement?
Read Reddit.
I believe it's the most value ever given out at the time of release to any TCG championship.
Didn't Metazoo do a $1 million tournament a couple years ago?
That was for the total tournament, and I believe the 16 people.
You're saying the winner gets the most value here.
I'm saying the total of the top 16 get it. So the top 16 they're each getting basically 6 figures worth of stuff.
Oh, because they all get the trophy.
They all get the uncut sheet. They get the packs. They get if you're a top 16, you get the pack. You get the event pack finalist. You get the top player pack, and you get an uncut sheet. And if you're top 8, you get a playmat that's worth $1 bajillion. The only thing I don't like is they have a participation playmat. No participation trophies needed. Don't bring that garbage into Metazoo with you. Don't bring that. This podcast only for winners.
Louis,
this podcast only for winners.
What?
I was too harsh on you with how you phrased the topic you wanted to talk about. I didn't think it could be done worse. I was wrong.
This was a great topic. This was a great topic.
I was wrong.
This is a great topic.
Louis, I owe you an apology.
This is one set a year for the 20th time. Yeah, that's great content.
I want you to know, I wish I was kinder to the people around me after having listened to that.
Instead of this, let's speculate on how many boxes of OP 6 and 7 George will get from GTS his first edition.
I like that. I like that.
He was nice to GTS on this podcast too. So do you think that
no dummy? I'm no dummy.
Does that help or hurt?
Who knows with GTS? That's the best part.
Maybe they're into the abuse.
We have promoted MVP Sports and more for them too, which I mean they should.
I'm not sure we have.
We have definitely.
We have
MVP Sports and more since before you knew it existed.
Listen, man, no press is bad press.
That's true. I don't think that's true. By the way, I want people to recognize this was a great One Piece topic.
No,
I talked about the uncut sheet. I talked about the championship card. I talked about the airfare. I had all my facts down pat.
You read that Reddit post like a champion, dude.
What country was it in?
They had one for Europe and one for Land of Freedom. The big debate was does Europe include the UK or not? I don't know where they landed on that. Shout out to our friends in the UK. Is that enough for you, Louis? Or you want to keep going, boss?
That was good. That's pretty good.
Okay. You want to go? Want some more? Want some more this heat?
Are you guys both reading the same Reddit post now?
You ain't got that dog in you. You ain't got this dog in you.
So they reduced supply.
George went to one sporting event. Now he's all riled up.
Yeah.
They reduced the supply
and we lost
of OP 6 and 7.
Which is funny because I remember somebody on this podcast saying it was printed demand and me saying, no, it's not. You're wrong and stupid.
I like your moving distro take, Louis.
Right?
That's a good take.
Let me be very clear here. I'm hoping that's true. Shout out to GTS. But
I'm hoping that's true. Also, please give me boxes.
I like that it's a hot take. Again, I think we would probably hear that from Distro at this point because they'd probably be taking.
I imagine Distro would
stand by it. It's more fun.
You would be hearing nothing but parties either in Florida or Georgia, depending on which one got it.
You could hear them from here. I could see them being like, "Hey, the new Pokemon set came out. If you don't take it, if you take it, we'll give you one piece."
Absolutely.
That's the real hot take is One Piece is gonna pump this Pokemon release.
The bundles for One Piece, if they go to either distro, it's gonna be wild. I hope you idiots like Pokemon decks.
The bundles are already wild.
I hope, yeah.
I bought Battle Spirit Saga a couple weeks ago.
Are we officially replacing CN2 packs as the package protectors with Pokemon packs?
Never.
Oh
no, you guys are just wrong about Pokemon, but we'll get there.
Hold on. No. You only believe in vintage Pokemon.
Yeah.
You gave it up. You gave it up. You gave it up today.
Your takes.
You gave it up today. You don't get it back. You don't get it back.
Pokemon's gonna be all right.
No, you don't get it back.
It's gonna be all right.
God, it's gonna take a couple years.
You gave up belief. Say it to the camera. Tell the people how you gave up.
I've never had belief in modern Pokemon.
That is not.
As a collectible, as a store, it's going to be fine. As a store, it's going to be fine.
Do you ever get dizzy from your own spin, or are you stable?
It's a difference between my store and my personal collection.
I love you.
Get dizzy from your own spin.
I have very little modern Pokemon in my personal collection.
I can't deal with either of you this week. I can't deal with either. I'm done with.
I had great One Piece news. Hey, great One Piece info, and you guys dunked on me for no reason. That was great One Piece stuff.
You got to do better.
Yeah,
that was amazing. I had all my facts straight.
Listen. If you're in charge of the One Piece section, you got to be better. This is 2 times in a row.
Put in the comment section below if I nailed it or not. Put in the comment section below if I nailed it or not. I only want to see
One Piece
George nailed it.
The last 3 One Piece weeks have been subpar.
No, this has been great.
Good. Last week I had a great take. I had a great take last week.
Yeah, I'm sorry I provided actual information versus Louis' wild speculations.
Nobody
I'm sorry. What plays on Made to be with you? Yeah.
I provided incredible information.
Okay.
I had details. I had pictures.
I'm going to give you a second shot. Try it again, but this time with Lorcana. Go.
The GOAT. Okay. What did you guys talk about last week with Lorcana, by the way?
We didn't. We skipped it. I think what did we say we were going to
We spent so much time actually discussing Magic.
Nobody wants to hear about your dead ass card games.
It was nice. We spent so much time talking about Magic, and Louis gave. Actually, last week we talked about one set a year for sorcery.
Oh.
That we never
do that until there's another set, guys. What else would we talk about?
This is the problem. This is the problem. Okay. So Lorcana also announced their tournament scene. They also are doing a US wing, and they're doing a Europe wing. Nobody knows still if the UK is in the Europe wing or if they're alone.
Is that going to vote? What's the when will we know?
I don't think they're going to vote. I don't think this would be a parliamentary vote on whether or not to rejoin the EU just to get into the Lorcana tournament, but I would support it if they did. I'm not saying I support them rejoining the EU or not. I'm saying I support a parliamentary decision to join the EU just to get into the Lorcana tournaments.
Okay. Are we going to talk about boxes going up to 220 or are we going to talk about
we're going to talk about this.
Some silly
I picked the topic. So like the big promo for the store.
You see OP George was that on your bingo card?
Is Stitch Rockstar. You can shift 4. You can pay for the little octagon things to play this on top of one of your characters named Stitch.
Hey George, question. The things on the right side of the card below the 5. What are those called?
Inkwells.
That's not the inkwell. Those are
ink spots.
I'll give you ink. I'll give you.
That's close.
Ink.
That's close. That's pretty close.
You need ink. That gives you
rounding error. Rounding error. Just like 2 weeks ago.
Adoring
You're welcome.
Whenever you play a character who costs 2 or less, you may exert them or draw a card. What does exert mean, George?
Kill it.
I want anyone who plays TCGs and watches this podcast to know my pain. I just want you to feel for me. I just want you to believe that I'm trying.
How do you get this? How do you get this card, George?
You got to win it. You got to win the tournament.
From what? From what tournament?
From the Rockstar.
Yeah,
that's your store prize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have not released what the promo will be for the main championships yet.
Gotcha. This is cool.
I nailed this one too.
Listen, everyone was excited.
2 for 2. I nailed this. 2 for 2. I nailed this.
Everybody was so excited for this one. Josh, people were actually excited for this.
Of course they were. Lorcana's GOAT.
My Discord actually did blow up on this one.
Yeah. You know why? Do you know why?
Because Lorcana's GOAT.
Yeah, because Lorcana's GOAT.
The other thing that was all the locations started popping up for into the Inklands. Josh, this releases when we're in Chicago. I'm kind of bummed.
Are you serious?
You want to do a box opening on my channel with me?
Not on your channel. I'm gonna miss my release night.
Wow! Wow! Oh my god!
I will be.
I'm making free content every week. I come on your Magic channel and teach you about a game that not only do you not believe in, but know nothing about.
That was so mean for no reason.
Yeah,
I loved
you're
it.
such a dick.
I will.
So mean for no reason.
Busy doing nothing but making guess the card, win the card shorts while I'm in Chicago the entire time.
That was so mean.
Remember how it's like, hey, we can go out to lunch and we can spend time and I can meet your family and stuff. Only if they want to do guess the card, win a card.
That was so mean.
You're kind of a dick.
It came across way meaner than I wanted it to. I would love
Josh,
to
if you want to do a Zoomy Zoom or a whatever the hell we're doing on right now, I will do a box opening with you virtually.
whatever this situation.
I would love
to ninja. If you want to ninja,
I would rather though, instead of doing a box
hold on,
opening,
George. Will you dye your hair blue like Ninja?
I have no hair.
Can we play the
some
pre-cons instead, Josh?
No.
Why? I want to play the pre.
I don't want to do anything with you anymore. You killed it.
What? No, I was just joking.
You killed it.
You were very clearly not joking. Like,
I want to put the box
let the record reflect. You were very clearly not joking.
I've invited you to other videos before that you've turned out. It's kind of making sense.
I want to do the box opening on my channel though. Is it your box or my box?
Go for it.
Is it your box or my box?
Well, everybody, thanks for joining us on May the Zoomy with you. We'll be in therapy next week.
Yes. Guess what? You can tune in next week to see Mitch. I won't be here.
Can you imagine how good our 3 couples therapy episode would be?
To be great. It always works.
can
Josh, you explain how the locations work?
No. Yeah, so there's Sorcerer's Stone coming in. There's Sorcerer's Stone coming into the inkwell now, and it just creates a permanent ink.
You mean
Sorcerer's Tower? Baby.
This is all the same to me. I call it Philosopher's Stone.
That's because this is the best box opening experience you've ever had.
That is true. All right. Enough of this nonsense, you guys. Let's speculate on something. We can't end on Louis dunking on Josh for no reason and bashing his channel on his channel.
I am all for dunking on. That was just selfish not being friends. Like that. That's what that was.
I want to open a box.
Yeah, that wasn't dunking on. Like when we make jokes about it. That's just not. That was not dunking on. I don't know what that was.
I'm trying to change the topic. I want the viewers to recognize this.
That's how you know
it's bad when I have to change the topic. What will the Enchanteds be in the next set?
I don't know.
God, I have that. That's so hard to know. Who the hell knows?
The location cards are ugly.
I love the location.
Why is the 3? Why is the number on the top right not the right direction?
Are you dyslexic?
No, it's facing the wrong way.
I'm not judging you if you are. That's a disability, and we don't mock that here.
Except for my channel, which is my biggest disability, and apparently Louis.
I'm trying to change the topic. I have failed. Louis crushed Josh. And there's nothing I can do about it.
No,
I just left it.
George, he's right though. I don't understand why this 3 is facing the wrong direction.
Do you pitch that? Not pitch, but ink it.
You ink it.
You ink it, but that's the design on the outside of the 3. The 3 could still be shifted, and you could still ink it.
I love that card. I love the way the card looks. God, I love Disney.
No, that's a bad design. That 3. The rest of the card's fine. Rest of the card's fine. That 3 needs to be counterclockwise shifted 90 degrees.
All right, let's speculate on prices of Into the Inklands 1 week after release.
Oh, this could be wild because we have no idea.
We have no idea.
This is going to be wild because I have no clue. I know if I get everything I asked for, we're going to have a sale.
It's got to stay at MSRP so I can sell it at a discount to members. I need it to hold.
It's not gonna happen.
I need it to hold, buddy.
I mean, so it's wild because they did make it clear that set 3 will be the set they can bring on new stores. And they seem to have agreed to that. There are stores getting in now, I've heard. What we don't know is it's wild because I mean this. If I got 20% of what I asked for, I wouldn't be shocked. And if I got everything I asked for, I wouldn't be shocked.
It's such an unknown because they've had plenty of time to.
Please give me 50% of everything I asked for.
They've had time to figure it out. They've had time to get the process refined.
I'm bringing back the old website. If not, I'm bringing back the old website. We're just selling Lorcana. Maybe I'll bundle it.
I think a week after release, we're at 120.
I was gonna guess 139. 135 to 139.
160.
160. Going the other direction.
They're gonna underprint. We're doing it. 160.
So Ravensburger's the new Bandai. Bandai is
on their own.
No idea what they're doing.
So Bandai is printing. Bandai has the world's hottest game, and they're printing 4 boxes to satiate demand.
It's an overcorrection. Bandai looked at the history of the 13 games they've killed.
There's a new one coming out. Everyone's talking about. It's called Arc. I don't know what it's called. I just know they keep talking about it. It's got anime boobs in it, and everyone's excited about it.
We already said it was a Bandai game. That seemed redundant.
Those guys, they start talking about it, and I just it's just not my thing. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll order it for you.
I think they're going to print it. I think they're going to print this. I think they're going to, rather be safe than sorry. The big thing is they publicly said that they won't know. They have publicly said they're not stating if they're going to reprint Chapter 1 or not. Again,
that's wild.
It's not. They're going to reprint it. They're going to. I will say what I have always said in this podcast: if you want to lose a lot of money, buy Lorcana for way above MSRP.
Yeah, I agree with
that. There will come a time that won't be true. They will eventually not reprint it. But I cannot believe they're doing basically 2 restocks and only 1 real restock of Chapter 1.
I hope that it does the real thing that they mimic.
Good throwback to Pokemon. Continue.
That they mimic you One Piece, and they make this set pump a bunch of cards from the second set because Floodborne's not looking super good on the market.
What's Floodborne at?
120, 125.
Oh, maybe. Stop it, Louis. You can't be like Pokemon's fine and then this is not doing so good at 125. Stop.
I mean, you're making what, $35 a box there or something like that, around,
Pokemon
give or take.
Is fine. I have no clue. You're not making that on TCG Player after fees and shipping. You're probably about breaking even.
But you also don't have to sell. You don't have to sell Lorcana on TCG Player. It's popular enough. You could sell it on your own website, or you could do box openings.
It's on the website, GameGroove.tg, baby. $120 a box, $5 below TCG Player. Look at that.
I like how you dunk on the game for a year, then wonder why people won't buy it from you.
I don't wonder why people won't buy it.
You did this with a game already.
All right, everyone. That's made the Zuby with you. Watch.
Josh, I want you to know before we go. Josh, I respect your channel. I think you're a great content creator.
So hold on. You don't have to respect my channel. I just want you to respect me as a friend. What's happening right now?
This is the problem with my One Piece section. You bozos can't keep up, and then you blame my section.
Louis, do you smell toast?
No. I smell the end of the podcast. Sniff, sniff, everyone. Thank you for being here. Make sure you go subscribe to Hometown TCG. You can
you do not pump his channel after you did that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's even more
you act like a brick. Get out of here.
Disrespect on this podcast this week off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts.
Remember to be kind to the people around you. Be with you.
What a great way to go out. What a great last episode.